he was so ambitious to lift the quality of life for South Australia and its citizens. And to do that, he had to combat conservatism. So he had to combat the idea that there was a group of people in this place that wanted to keep everything the way it was. And that they believed that nothing should be altered, that everything should be preserved as in some sort of museum. So he had to challenge that fundamental notion of conservatism. And he had to fight that all of his life. He did many profound things. It's worth remembering that the Dunstan project was about human flourishing. It was about basically making sure that we could express ourselves in every possible way, and that human beings were more than just their relationship to the economic process. And this was profound. This was a profound. You could see that about the way he lived his life. He loved life. Stephen can tell us that he loved life, and he wanted us to love life, and he wanted us to enjoy it in every single respect around us. The idea of the city as an agent of economic progress. Is this one thing that Don is not widely acknowledged for? Don, the people characterise him as, basically Hollywood on the Torrens, all of the pink hot pants. It looked like a lot of fun, and it was, but it had a serious edge. Don was also about the economic transformation of South Australia. And so this idea of the city as projecting cultural capital had an aesthetic quality to it. It was about enjoying life, but it was also about projecting an image of ourselves to the world. Attracting tourists, attracting people to be part of the South Australian experience. The jam factory, it wasn't just about blowing beautiful pieces of glass. It was about Don's conception that the manufacturing industry here in South Australia had to move up the value chain. So he knew, like a lot of progressive intellectuals, he'd read The Lucky Country by Donald Horne, which said that we can't just dig things up, we can't just grow things and stick them in containers, we have to add value. So Don was interested in design, not just for its aesthetic qualities, but because he realised that that was the future of the growth of prosperity of industries. So, all of these things that we now are really commonplace now, the idea of a city as being a projector of capital and as a key economic asset, is now everybody bought into that agenda. The first place in the nation to have a festival centre here in South Australia, before the Opera House. And these ideas, which are now very much part of what we regard as the common sense of regions competing on a global marketplace. Don was there first. He was opening us up and exposing us to the world.